Hello guys, Bup's back! Welcome to the Modsauce, episode 4. As you can see, we have cleaned out our temporary house. Yep, gonna tear this baby down soon, and we are moving in over here. And as you see over here, all of our temporary chests, gone. All stacked into our ME system. And this thing is just about full. As you see, all these are close to capacity, at least in the bytes used. Got some items left though. And these are just 4K drives, made them by hand, because today we're filling this bad boy up. And as you can see from our hot bar, it's auto crafting time. Yep, AE auto crafting coming up here. Probably going to make a lot of cuts in this episode. You know, as we set up sort of each thing to auto craft, I'll just cut, I'll get the next one ready to set up, and then we'll just do it right on camera. Or else, I mean, some of these things can take a little bit of time. We don't want this episode to get boring and drag on. We'll try to get some 64K drives in here. I don't know if we have enough supplies to get a whole bunch, but we'll at least try to get some going. And then also, okay, so let me show you while we're here. We dug out below. Yep, this is where all of the stuff is going. Made this little room here, and we'll extend this as we need more space. I dug out a huge area. Well, the turtle dug it out. I didn't dig out anything. Dug out this huge area that we can use, and it can even dig down further if we need it. So we got plenty of room to do all our auto crafting, auto processing, all that fun stuff. Because our mining world over here has become a mess. As you see, we've got a lot of processing going on here. We have, this one's a glass factory. We're just splitting cobble into sand, and then we're smelting it into here, and we're throwing it right into an ender chest. Over here, this is just a sand generator because we don't have sand in this world. So, I mean, all of this auto processing, this is all going to happen below our base in the little basement there. All going to get controlled by AE. That's going to be our goal. I don't know if we're going to get all of that done today, but that's what we're going to be heading towards. Over here we got some more processing going on. All of this stuff is going in the basement. And then so what I did over here, because to make the AE thing you need the dense ME cable to really be able to compact things, and that takes a lot of wool. So what I did, I set up this nice little wheat farm here, and it pipes in to an autonomous activator back here. So that pipes in all the wheat into that, and then it's just set to click and feed our sheeps and cows. And as you see right there, they get the little hearts, they breed up, they pop a baby down here, and then we got our grinder right here, grinds them up, spits the wool, leather, and meats into the ender chest and right into the ME system. I also put a vacuum hopper down here, which is full of poop. Okay, and it collects the experience. So we'll make a little experience shower later on for that, but that's going to be down the line a little bit. We really don't need the experience right now. We're level 38 as it is, and we've got nothing to spend it on. So that's just kind of, we're collecting it because it makes it. We'll do something with it later. Don't know what. Our Ender Pearl farm is doing great since we found that end stone in the nether. We got the Ender Lilies planted on there, and it produces them a whole lot faster. So if we take a look in here, I mean, we got a stack and some more going already, and so that's pretty nice. We got our gas tier farm going back there. It collects a lot of those. They're useful in a couple recipes, not a whole lot of stuff that we need right now, but hey, we got them, we may as well set it up. So let me head back into our home base and get down into the auto crafting room, and let's get some stuff set up. I'll see you when we get there. Alright, here we go. Heading into our beautiful clean room. What I've done is gone ahead and run the dense cable across the ceiling here, and we'll just start running some machines for auto crafting right off of it. So we'll hop right in. Let's see, we'll do, I guess, probably 4 down the side here, and then 1 separated. Now we'll make it a little lower. 1 separated there. Let's grab these interfaces to just pop right on here. So I'll explain a little bit as I go, but for the most part you can just sort of see what's happening. Most of you guys probably know what this is all about anyway. So we'll throw the power in over here, and these are the interfaces over here that we'll put in the patterns, and that'll make all of that work beautifully. Over here we'll just run right around. And now you might be wondering how we're going to retrieve stuff out. Well, I do it a little bit different than maybe a lot of people do it, maybe different than you're used to. But I'm going to run them all out with some extra utilities transfer nodes. We'll pull them right out the back. And then just put them into a chest. And then from the chest it just takes one quick little import bus to throw them back into the system. That's the way I kind of like to do it. It saves a bunch of channels that you really don't need to take up, and just kind of, I don't know, simplifies things if you ask me. Everyone's got their own way of doing stuff, and so this is mine. We'll just drive that right along there. Let's see if we can hop back in. Run that across, and then we'll plug up this hole here. Ooh, we're going to be able to get that last one on. There we go. Alright. So let's just plug this right back up. Make it look nice and neat. Look at that. Can barely see anything happened. So it's going to put all of the stuff, it's going to pull out the back when it's done being crafted up and put it right under this chest. And then from this chest here, we just have an import bus to import it into the ME system. Throw that right on there. We need a little bit more wire. Huh. Oh, well, that doesn't need to be a full circle. Haha, look at that. Perfect. So now, let's throw down, I guess, our pattern terminal. Definitely need that. Throw that onto there. And we'll throw on the interface terminal here. And I guess the, heck, the crafting terminal, why not? Oof, that went on a little bit backwards. Let's try that again. So we'll get that right there. Alright, so now what we have here... Oh, we didn't set this one up, did we? Alright, so we need one interface, which is going to go in this side here. We need a couple of export buses. We're going to export the redstone there. No, that's not where that's going at all. Ha, look at me go. Let's move these. So we need that export bus is going to be on the bottom. So let's get down there. Slap that on. And then the interface will go on the top. Okay, now what we've got here is all of the things that we need to get our auto crafting going. So first we got redstone. Let me see if we got, yep, I got some extra silicon here. So this export bus is going to export redstone. I'm going to explain all of this in just a second. And that is going to export that into there. Throw these back into the system. And here we go. So now, I like to do crafting sort of from the bottom up. Do a complete setup. So when we go in here and we make our patterns, if we're going to make something like the blank patterns, which are pretty important to make, I got 31 of them here. We're going to use way more than that eventually. So it takes quartz glass and glowstone and the Certus crystal. So I like to teach it. We're going to teach it how to make the quartz glass. We're not going to assume that it can make any of it. So let's just do that. Let's work on this one for the first one. So for this, we need Certus dust. The dust we're going to do in a minute. The sag mill, we'll set that up. But for now, we're just going to teach it how to make the quartz glass like that. We don't even have any dust in here. So never mind on that one. We just got plastic. Okay. So then let's just pretend that we do. We'll do the stuff with the sag mill later on. Aha, but we do need the glowstone. So we get the glowing reed, which is imported, and we need to teach it how to make the glowstone out of that. So we just make up a little pattern there like that, and there, now it can make glowstone. And we throw that into the molecular assembler, which is going to go right there. We'll throw probably 2 interfaces onto it. Nope, just one for now because it needs to be able to get the power to get a signal. So 1 interface, that'll do us for a little bit. We'll make some more of these cables. We'll teach it how to make us some more of these cables, and then we'll hook it up better. So now we got the glowstone there. So now we can go into here and say, hey, we need glowstone. If you spell it right, craft. Alright, so there you go. Now it knows how to craft the glowstone, and as we need it, it's just going to make it. We'll throw on our processing unit and our crafting storage. So now it has everything it needs. I want some glowstone, so make me 10. And we just tell it, make 10. It'll say, okay, you need 5 glowing reed. That'll make 10 glowstone dust. Start, and you see it in there. It's going, and it's making them. And now you go into here, and we have glowstone. So pretty simple. You guys probably knew that. So now we're going to teach it. That's how you make blank patterns. So now as we need them, we're down to 29. Eventually we're going to need them. So we'll just throw that right in there, and you can make me blank patterns as we need them. But now, our main goal for today, that was just kind of a little aside. Our main goal is to be able to fill up that other ME drive, get some more storage in there because we are plumb out. So that's what all these inscribers are set up for. So we're going to teach it how to do all of that. So the first one that we are going to teach is going to be the engineering press. So for that you need a diamond. You put this into processing mode, and you teach it that 1 diamond that we're going to put into there makes an engineering press, which we don't have in there already. These are like glitched in for some reason when I was playing with it earlier, and I can't actually make these, as you see. I don't know why, some sort of server-side glitch, but we're going to make those patterns and have it all working. That was just sort of during the testing phase here. So we don't have one of these anyways. So up the top here, we throw in our engineering press, which is right here. We throw in the diamond, and it's going to make it up right over here. And then the transfer node will pull it out the back, put it into this chest, and then this import bus will import it into the ME system, and we'll be able to see it over here once it's done. And now it's going to know that 1 diamond is going to make 1 engineering, what is it, circuit, engineering circuit, because there we go. So that makes that. Throw it on a pattern there, and now you put it into this interface, and it knows if it spits a diamond into there, it's going to end up coming up with an engineering circuit. So it's as simple as that. We do that for each one. Now we'll do the same thing with the Certus. You can teach it 1 Certus is going to make the calculation press. So we'll make that right in here. Calculation goes in here. Let's just put all these in. This one will be the logic. That one will be the silicon. So let's grab each of those. We'll need a gold, and we will need a silicone. Oh, the silicone one we can do already. There's an extra in there. So let's just go ahead and do that. Throw the gold in, and now we will teach it that if you put a piece of silicone in there, you will get a printed silicone out. So there, we make that pattern. We throw it into this bottom one here, which is our silicone inscriber. We go into the interface connected to it. Now it knows it throws silicone in there, and it gets a silicone press out. And then the next one that we've, this one here, go back to making that, and that's how it's going to make the calculation, which is already in there. So there you go. We'll put that into the calculation one, and then we should have the gold one in here already. So let's just make that while we're in there. If you put the gold one in, you are going to get a logic out. Encode that pattern. And let's put both of these into the right ones. This one should be the gold. And if you hold shift, you can see what it is. It gives you a visual instead of reading it. So that one is going to be the calculation. So there, now it knows how to make all of those circuits. And this one here is automatically importing the redstone in and the silicone into there. And now you just need the interface up top is going to decide which circuit it's making. So to do that, basically we'll just pull each one out. So now if we grab the logic out of here, we'll teach it that if it puts a logic in to here, it comes out with the logic processor, which will be spit in here. We're going to need in here printed silicone. So it doesn't know how to make the printed silicone. If it has it in the system, it's going to throw it in. But now we throw a crafting card in there, and when it doesn't have silicone, it says, hey, how do I make silicone? Make me some. And then this thing goes to work and makes it silicone. So long as we have the silicone balls in here, but we're going to teach it how to make these as well once we get the sag mill set up. But now back to the logic circuit. It should have crafted it. No, what one did we do first? Did we do the logic one first? I thought we did. Yeah, because we've got it. Oh, there we go. It just took a second to pull in there. So now if it puts in the printed logic circuit, it comes out with a logic processor. So that one just goes right in the top into this interface. This interface is actually going to hold each one of them, because it's also, if you put in the calculation, which we'll teach it here, you put in a calculation and you are going to crash the game apparently. Alright, so let's go back in. This is a little bit of server lag going on today. Hopefully it's not a big deal. Let me just make a cut here when we get back in. I don't know if they're having issues or what's going on, but give me 1 second here. Alright, we're back in. The server did crash, took just a minute to come back up, and it actually cleared out the glitched storage ones that were in here that we couldn't actually craft, so those are gone. So there was some sort of server issue going, whatever. Pressing onward. We've got the calculation circuit here, we've got it in here, we just got to put it right into here, and then it'll press this, it'll put it in there, and we'll teach it how to make the calculation circuit. So there it goes, getting pressed right down there. It'll cycle through, and in just a minute we should be able to see it in here. Maybe. Did it get caught up? Sometimes it takes a minute and the timings are a little bit off. So it should pop in here any second. Huh. Or so I thought. It got sucked in somewhere. There it is. Alright, yeah. See, sometimes it takes just a minute. The server is still lagging. I'm not sure what the issue is. Someone must be doing something big time. Whatever, we'll just do this slowly. So we get the calculation there. And then finally, we have to teach it the engineering. So grab one of those, put it into there. Let's clear that out. And let it craft it up. Watch it press down. Boom. Gets sucked out. And then see, it puts the redstone and the silicone back in there, and it's ready to make the next one. And we probably missed it coming into there, so let's just wait for it to come over here. Oh, see, that one was a whole lot faster. And so now it knows when you put in a printed engineering circuit, you'll spit out, not a calculation one. Oops, that's why it was so fast. Alright. Forgot we were doing the engineering processor, but there it is in there too. So there we go. You put in a printed engineering circuit, you spit out an engineering processor. Now we just put that pattern right into there, and we've got all of our basic ones crafted up. So now we're going to make use of the molecular assembler. And what we're going to teach it first is how to do the ME storage cells. So the first one is the 1K. We already know how to do the logic processor. Again, these pure ones, we're going to get to that. But first, let's get all of these. And this is pattern crafting. So we don't actually need to make it. It already knows how to make the 1K there. And then that's just an assembly thing. Let me put it right under there. And now to do the 4K, We'll just teach it that, and it doesn't have any of the 1Ks, so we actually have to have it make us a 1K. So we tell us make it a 1K, it knows how to do all of that. So we'll start that up. I'm not sure if we're going to have enough of the pure Certus to make all of them. No, we're not going to. But actually it can use just the regular one, so we'll just do that for now. I like to use the pure because it doubles them. You know, you grind down the pure, you mix it with sand, you get 2 seeds for every 1 dust. So once we tell it to make that, it will be a whole lot more efficient. But for now, it doesn't really matter. I mean, we've got 300 of them, so we're in good shape. So hopefully it spit it into there, and it has. So now it knows how to make a 4K. We just spit that into here. Actually, we should be using that. We'll do that for the next one. So it spits that into there, and now the 16K. So first we have to tell it make us a 4K so that you can include that in the recipe. Oh, see, it is trying to use the pure over here. Well, that's alright. So it's a little unexpected, but we do have the sag mill on us here. So let's throw in the sag mill, huh? We will put it up here. We need to get the power in, which I think is up here. That's why I'm digging through this. I think we should be able to pull power from here. Yeah, that's the solar panel. Alright, so we'll just do power right down from there. And right into the sag mill. There we go. It's going to need an interface as well. Make sure that the interface, oh, we put sand in there already. Haha. How about that? So the interface, it's set to push out the sand, so it's probably sitting in here because it's not connected. Yep. And we need some cables. Let's see if we have any in here. I think I might have a couple of these smart cables in here. Nope. Do we have any of any glass cables? No. Do we not have any at all to connect this with? How about Fluix crystals? We've got, oh, look at that. We do have a covered cable. Thought it was a smart cable. Alright, so guess we'll have to move this up one. That is fine. So move that up one onto there. We'll get the interface into there and the cable onto there. We're also going to actually need to set up the crystal growth chamber. So let's just do the same. We'll do it right next door. We'll put our interface onto, actually don't, yeah, we'll just do that. Interface onto there. And that's it. So now we will teach it how to make the silicone and all the dust and everything that we needed before. So let's finish up the drives though. So the first thing that's going to need to know how to make is the Certus dust. So we teach it, you put in 1 Certus and grind her up. And this is going to be a processing pattern. So you put the 1 Certus into there and you get the Certus dust out, and it's a 1-for-1 process. And then you assemble your 1 dust with 1 sand. And so this is onto here. 1 dust and 1 sand makes 2 seeds. So that, you know, we can access them all from here. So that goes into the assembler, does the assembling the sand and the dust, and the sag mill grinds it up and makes the dust. So simple as that. Now it knows, let's see. So we need to make some seeds then. So have it make us, oh, it's got the 2 seeds there already. And now we'll teach it processing, that when you put, we'll go 1-for-1. So you put 1 seed in there and it will make 1 pure Certus quartz, and that's a processing pattern, and that goes into the crystal growth chamber. So now it can make us all the ones that it needs. We'll throw these back into here, and now it should be able to make us the 4K. And there we go, it can. See, it knows, alright, it's got the seeds and the dust and it'll make it. And boom. Now we can watch it all happen here. It's going to press out what it needs and do the whole thing. And in the meantime, let's teach it how to make the silicone. So silicone is not a 100% chance from sand, but we're going to use sand because we have a lot. So we're going to tell it that processing, if you put 3 sand in, you're going to get 1 silicone out, which is a good enough ratio that you're pretty much always going to guarantee one, because if you tell it 1 for 1 and it doesn't get it, the whole system just shuts down and waits, and it's not going to know to put more sand in. So I like to do it that way, and that way you're just kind of guaranteed to get your silicone out of there. And that way it's going to have everything that it needs to be able to keep using this crafting card and calling for more of these, which will get crafted over here. It's going to know how to do all of that. So that shouldn't be an issue at all. And over here we should see the 4K coming out soon. You can always click into here and see how far along it is. It's still crafting these crystals, so we should see them in here. And there they are growing, except we never put on... Wait, can it pull them out of there, or do I need an export bus? Let's see, I don't remember. I think we actually need an import bus on here to pull them in. Is that the case? Alright, so we're going to need a little bit more wire, so give me a second, let me get some more wire and get this wired up and make another cut here. Told you there's going to be a lot of cuts on this one. You just need more and more and more stuff. So we'll be back in a second. Alright, so I made us a little bit more wire, and we're actually going to hook this up a little bit different here. So let's pull this down. We do still want the sag mill up there. So let's reconnect the sag mill and throw its patterns back in there, which is the silicone and the dust. We're actually going to do the crystal growth chamber down this way here. We're going to put it right on there, and we're going to use the interface here. So now we can put the crystal there, and the way we're going to do this is again with a transfer node into this chest, and we're going to use an item filter. So we got the item filter here, and we're going to say pull out pure Ceritus quartz, because we're also going to have the other pure ones in here, the pure fluix and the pure nether quartz. So it's just only going to pull those out. It's going to leave the seeds to grow. Once they're grown, it'll pull them out of there, throw them into the chest, and then we've already got this import bus to throw them back into the ME system. So that's how we're going to set that up. So now we should be definitely okay. We've got our 4K here, and now we should be able to make the 16K pattern. Let's throw these back in. And over here, the 16K. And cook up the pattern for that. Throw that into the assembler. And now make us one. So this is going to take a minute here to craft. Okay, so the quartz glass. Doesn't know how to make the quartz glass, but we can do that now because we've got the sag mill. So let's teach it to make the quartz glass. So over here, we have quartz glass, and we want to use the nether quartz because that's a renewable resource for us. So first we are going to teach it to grind up nether quartz, which is a processing. You put in 1 nether quartz into here, you grind it up, and you get the nether quartz dust out of it. So we'll just give it a second to pop into the system here, and then we'll encode it. There we go, and it is a 1 for 1, so no need to go for more than that. It'll just make them as it's needed. We'll put that into there, and now it's got the dust to be able to make that. And that is a crafting pattern, makes 4 of the quartz glass. So there we go, now it knows how to do that. And throw that right into there to assemble it. One thing we do need to teach it is how to make the nether quartz itself, because we're doing that with berries, just like that. So let's teach it that while we're at it. Say, okay. That will also go in there. So now we're running out of room here. I think that we're going to have to throw another interface as our last interface. So we're also going to have to grab an interface off of it. And we can do that while it's crafting our 16K. because now it's got everything it needs to craft it. So go right ahead. While it does that, let's also do teach it how to do an interface. So we've got this here, which needs these cores. So we have to also teach it how to do cores. And that does Fluix Dust. Now the Fluix Dust, we're not going to teach it how to do that today. That is a little more difficult. You got to do some interesting things to be able to make that happen. So we're just going to grind up the crystals and let it go in. We'll finish with that. And we'll just grind up the crystals and then we'll make the pattern. I'll make another cut here, and when we're ready to do that, we'll cut back in. Alright, so it's starting to grind up our Fluix Dust here. We're also going to need a logic processor for this in order for it to work. But while we're doing it, I also thought we should teach it how to do the pure nether quartz as well. So let's just teach it how to make that. Pure nether quartz is a oh, we have to do that in a puddle of water too. See, when you got to throw things out of the AE system and into puddles of water, that's a little more difficult. There are ways to do it, and I know how we're gonna do it, but we're not gonna do that today. So let's just skip right past that. This is almost done. It's just crafting these up, which should be growing in here as we speak, and they are. We do need to actually make a little hole in the wall here, because we need to get this power through a glass cable. Of course, we're going to have lag now. Oh, I hope it doesn't crash again while I'm doing this. So we will pull that off of... actually, we'll just loop it right around here, huh? There we go. So now it's got the power that it needs. See, I always forget something when you're doing this. It's just so complex. But that is good enough. And now here we go. These are growing. Those actually, wow, they grow pretty quick. We're going to get some speed up cards to make them go even faster. Acceleration cards, I think they are, whatever it is for this this mod. But for now, that is plenty quick. It's going to make those, and then it's going to have to just assemble all the processors. We should be able to watch that happen right in here in any moment. Okay, yep, see, it is sucking them out because it's in the filter and putting them in here, and then it is pulling them out of there. Yep, and now it's crafting. As it gets them, I don't know if we're gonna, yeah, we can see it in there. It goes by pretty quick, but there it goes, making them all up, and it's completed the job. So now that that's completed, we need to tell it to make us a logic processor so that we can, why is it not allowing us to? Oh, it's trying to craft that, see? It ran out of the silicone, so it said, craft me up one, and it needs to use the processor to do that, so it sort of takes it up just for a second, and we happen to catch it during that time. But now we can tell it to make us the logic one. Now we can go back to making the interface. So we get the interface there. So we need the cores, which there we go, we've got the dust in there, and just as soon as that processor is made, we'll be able to do that. Make the annihilation core and the formation core, and once it knows how to make those, we've got the iron in there already and just regular glass that's already pumping in. We're going to do the processing of iron later, because right now obviously just the ore goes in, and then that'll sort of all take care of itself. This is just taking a second to come in. There we go. So now that's just an assembly pattern, and it's going to go into the last slot. We're going to pull out seeds for now, because we're in the process of making more. Alright, so now we can make the, which one is that? Formation core. So now it should have the, let's just put them in order. Yep, the formation, the annihilation core, and now that should be enough. Let's have it make us, well, oh, it's already got one annihilation. Let's have us make us a formation core. It makes that pretty quick. And now it should be able to do that. And there we go. Now we can make more interfaces, which we definitely are in dire need of. So let's pull that out. Let's tell it to make us, didn't we just put it in? Yeah, right there. ME interface. So we should be able to call for it now. But it doesn't want to let us. Are we lagging out again? Let's see if there's a reading it over here. Yeah, it is. Alright. So what's the... What? There we go. Just took a second to read. So let's make up 5 of these guys, huh? And it's got all the stuff for that. So I'll cut here. Oh no, look, wow. It's pumping a couple out quick. Alright, well that's good enough. So all we need is the couple of them, and the rest will fill up as we go. So let's put that onto there. That onto there. We've got the wires to connect. And looped right in. Now we can put the other patterns back in there that we had pulled out. Whew. Getting a lot done pretty quick here. So now we've already got the 16K storage, and now we just need the 64K. We are almost there. So we gotta have it make us an engineering processor, and once that is done, then we're able to do that. So let me just make a cut because it's gonna finish doing this task here, making our interfaces, and then I'll have it make that, and I'll be right back in once we've got it and ready to go. And here we are once again. So now we should have everything we need. Wait, what is this? For the engineering processor, and that should be all set for us to make the, where is it? 64K drive. So let's shift that into there. Well, just the storage component. So now it knows how to make that. Throw that into our assembler. Well, we should be accessing them through here. It just makes it easier. So let's keep these all in order of all of our drivey type stuff there. So now we should be able to order up a 64K drive. Let's see what happens when we put that in here. Let's just make us one. And we are a little bit short on gold. So I guess that is going to be the day for us. We'll just have to pull up some more gold, and that's kind of going to lead into our next part, which is going to be the auto processing of all the stuff that we saw in the mining world. That is going to be in the next episode, and we'll probably be setting up just sort of as we go. There's going to be more and more AE2 auto crafting that'll be set up, but we got all the biggies done here. And now it's just going to be a matter of making more as we go. We'll teach it, you know, we'll have to sag mill stuff. It'll teach it how to do that. And we'll set up all the processing to take place automatically, so that when we go into here, instead of having all of these ores, we're going to just have the metals ready to go on demand for us. So that's coming in the next episode, but thank you guys for watching. Please leave some comments what you thought in the video. If you liked it, give me a little thumbs up, and hope you keep watching. I'll see you next time, guys. This is Bup, and I'm out of here.